Within hours following the tragic shootings in Tucson Saturday, many on both the left and the right began looking for a political ideology to blame for the killings of 6 people.
KTRH talk show host Michael Berry joins us to talk about accusations that talk radio, the Tea Party movement, and a politically charged environment might be to blame for the parking lot attack. Michael, what did you think when you heard that some on the left were accusing Sarah Palin, Rush Limbaugh, hosts like yourself, for the weekend shooting of 20, including a federal judge and Representative Gabrielle Giffords?
It took 38 minutes to begin treating her in the emergency room from when the bullet was fired to when treatment began by the neurosurgeons. And in less than 38 minutes, the left had already decided this was one more example of why we need the fairness doctrine and to shut down conservative talk radio. I think that's a rush to judgment. I think it's inappropriate. And worst of all, I think it's using this woman and the lives of a number of other people, including a 9-year-old little girl, as political footballs, and that's sickening. There is room for open discourse, passionate political discourse in this country that does not result in shootings of people. We've had shootings in this country, for instance, at Virginia Tech, unrelated to political issues. It's a problem we have in our society, and maybe part of that problem is how much we cover it and how someone can create a YouTube video and then go out and shoot someone, and now all of a sudden everyone watches their YouTube video. We saw that with the Unabomber. I don't think it's fair, I don't think it's accurate, and I don't think it's good for our republic to be blaming the right, because the next shooter may come from the left. And I'm not even sure this guy comes from the right, because on his YouTube page, which they've now pulled down, he quoted the Communist Manifesto, not exactly considered a Bible of conservatives in America. What I find disturbing is that people on the left are using this to achieve their political ends, and that's unfortunate. Our republic is better than that.
In his first press conference following the shootings, Pima County Sheriff Clarence Dupnick blamed news talk and hateful rhetoric for Saturday's shooting in Tucson. Michael, what is your response to those comments?
It's important to understand who that sheriff is. Sheriff Clarence Dupnick is very out of touch with his community. He has been highly criticized. He went on the record refusing to enforce Senate Bill 1070, even after most of it was upheld by a federal court, because he believed it was unfair to illegal aliens in that community. That's a hot-button issue there. And let's be very clear. The deaths that have occurred in Arizona as a result of the political and legal issue of illegal aliens are not limited to a congressman or people who've attended a congressional rally. Those deaths have been ranchers. Those deaths have been citizens. Those deaths have been other illegal aliens. That is a hot issue there that has become life or death, and that sheriff has politicized the issue by refusing to enforce the law. He's not a guy who's just opining on what he sees out there. He's a guy with a very clear agenda, and that is amnesty for illegal aliens. Let's understand who he is before we take at face value what he said.
Finally, Michael, in the days following these shootings, do you think there were any lessons to be learned by either the left or the right?
I don't think this exposes a lesson to be learned of passionate discourse any more than when a very liberal young man walked into the Discovery Channel a few months ago and shot the place up because he believed that the environment was going to burn up, and he was highly influenced by Al Gore. Nobody believed that this is the result of the left, and we have to tamp that language down. I think what we see is that we have individuals in our society who occasionally come unhinged. We have individuals who have mental health needs and occasionally lash out in an effort to get attention for their positions, in an effort to become martyrs in their own mind. And that's sad and unfortunate, but it's actually a long-term process. This didn't begin yesterday. It's not limited to our country. We've seen it with the SARS situation in Asia. We've seen it in Bombay, where some terrorists took over a hotel over a period of days and blew it up. What you find is individuals want to create something larger than themselves, and they often do it in the name of their politics, and they leave collateral damage. It's sad, but it is isolated to that individual.
Obviously, a highly charged topic, and one Michael and his listeners will be talking about today during the Michael Berry Show, starting at 5 o'clock this afternoon on KTRH.
We also want to hear from you about this. What do you believe was the motivation behind Saturday's assassination attempt? Was it personal, political, or simply the work of a crazed gunman? You can answer our question of the day at KTRH.com. In fact, 44% of our respondents say it was all about the work of a crazed gunman. You can also sound off. Leave a comment on our Facebook page. We continue to share them throughout the morning on the air.